What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. We are coming at you with another spoiler video. I bet you didn't know that we were going to do it, but we're doing it.
Call us DJ Khaled because it's another one.
So, yeah, I'm here with David and Jay. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Very excited to talk about the spoilers we got today.
We
Some
got
good
some
ones.
really cool ones, yeah.
And some terrible ones.
Well, let's see what we've got first. It's Inspiring Mentor. It's a 2-cost green hero upgrade. It says attached to non-vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack / when defeated. Give an experience token to another friendly unit. And it gives the unit +1/+1.
So, in theory, this is the same value that you get from something like the 2/2 Academy training. 2 costs +2/+2.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Because when you can put this on a unit and attack with it that phase, so that you pretty much are getting your 2/2 value. It just has the incremental advantage that if it sticks, you get more value as time goes on. And then when it is defeated, you get to do it. So you're at minimum getting two +1/+1 experience tokens. So does this just replace Academy Trading and Green Hero if you ever actually play that card?
It's like replace.
I think maybe probably not though, because it's to another friendly unit.
Yeah, I don't like the another.
That's fair.
The games or the decks that I've seen that sometimes play Academy Training, they play it because they want the unit that it's on to be bigger, not just the stats necessarily. So
Sure.
So
is this a bad card? Is this trash?
I think it's bad. David, I want to know your opinion.
Yeah, I've been sitting here since it was spoiled trying to think of like where would I want this? Like, and especially at 2, like a 2 +1/+1. I compare it to like Devotion, where it hits and you're getting the buff and you're getting the restore 2, and Devotion doesn't hit every deck. So I don't know. I don't like it initially. People were talking about this is the one card that could make Finn actually work, which we'll get to in a minute. But that's still reaching. I feel like we're trying to discover something. I don't know. It does not excite me.
I think we talked about Finn last video, so we can talk about it here if you want. But
we did.
I don't think this works with Finn at all.
You're right. We did talk about Finn last. Yeah. That's true.
It just feels so weird to like delete your experience tokens to turn them into shields. Like sometimes that's going to be okay, but I think like the situations where that good is pretty narrow because the experience tokens are already theoretically sometimes allowing you to trade into a unit and stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
Also, isn't Academy Training is that non-vehicle unit too?
No,
that's any unit actually.
That's why I'm like this is only ground units too. I think it's bad.
Well, yeah, it is. I don't understand why this card is a rare. I don't really understand where this card fits. I've mentioned before that I don't really like 2-cost upgrades like this.
I think it's a rare because in draft it would be too good as a common.
Okay. I could see a place for it in draft specifically. If this is just meant to be a draft rare and like you're excited to see this when you're drafting Green Hero, I think that's reasonable, but I don't think this is constructed playable whatsoever.
No, it's not.
So, all right, move on to the next one. We've got another upgrade. It is Vrace flamethrower. It's a 3-cost red upgrade attached to a non-vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack. You may deal 3 damage divided as you choose among enemy ground units, and it gives it +1/+1.
Another rare upgrade. We get a lot of rare upgrades. I think even in set 1 we had several rare upgrades. Jedi Lightsaber, Electro Staff.
Mm-hmm.
I think this card's pretty bad.
Agreed.
Like just straight up just feels bad.
I think I like this card more than you guys do.
All right.
But I don't know where it fits, I guess, is a thing. It feels bad that you only get +1/+1 for 3 resources, so it doesn't help keep your unit alive as well as something like Fallen Lightsaber, which is sort of similar to this. But I think the on attack could be pretty good. So I
Yeah,
think
Fallen Lightsaber is just way better than this, right? It's the same thing, except it's not capped. It just has to be on a force unit.
potentially the thing I like about this is that you can attack your opponent's base and take out one of their units without having to attack their unit. Because you can choose one of their units to deal 3 damage to.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Which, like, I feel like if you get to attack with this once or twice, like once, it's pretty decent value. It's like, it's almost like a +1/+1, and you can do it more times, but it's sort of partially an open fire, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to find a good comparison, but I do think if you can like attack with this, it's decent. I don't know what deck wants it, but I think on its face, like there are some ways that you could use it. Maybe you're playing like Cad Bane and you've dealt random pings of damage here and there and they haven't killed their units, and you get to attack with this on a unit and clean things up. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I like, at least you get to choose how to divide it and where you put things. I think that definitely helps. I think to that point of we were talking about draft, I think in limited this could be very strong.
Could be a limited bomb.
Like having some like static board control where you don't have to sacrifice units to it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why I read it as deal 1 to
just
3
one to
different
each of up to 3
units.
I think, well, like Fallen Lightsaber is just 1 to your opponent's ground units, and it's kind of a similar card, so I understand like thinking that that's how it would work. I wish that it had that it gave your unit more of a buff, and I also wish that it could hit space units. I mean, obviously it's a flamethrower, it can't hit space units, but it would make the card more exciting. But I don't know. I think that this could be decent.
I'm still not sold, but it's a little bit better than I thought it was.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on to this next card, which is insane. This is Final Showdown, and it is a 6-cost double yellow event. Ready each unit you control. At the start of the regroup phase, you lose the game.
You lose the game. Now, in Destiny, there was a card called Final something.
Final Moment.
Final Countdown.
Final Moment. No, not Countdown. And it was the same exact like text. It's a legendary, and it costs 6. And it's double yellow. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
this card's sick.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I do hear the Final Countdown music in my head every time this card shows up, which I'm not against if that's gonna be the song that pops up. Yeah, so this is crazy. I mean, 6 is a lot, and you do have to stall. I mean, obviously you gotta like
you have to like have a board that's worth readying.
Yeah. But knowing this exists, if you're playing against double yellow, like you're gonna have to just be aware and like be sitting there doing math. Like, okay, if it could be a fire spray or it could be a Final Countdown or Final Showdown. Gosh, I'm just gonna call it Final Countdown. I know I'm gonna do that so many times. Yeah, but when you got stuff like Greedo and that new Wookiee and that stuff that like is low cost that hits for 3, when if you stick a few of those and all of a sudden you're doubling that damage, that's pretty wild. But
yeah,
oh gosh, that feels so just risky and living on the edge.
Okay, nothing is gonna feel better than when your opponent taps out while you have this in your hand and you're just ready to like hit him for 15 or something like that. The question is how often that's gonna happen and if it's worth putting this in your deck. But I'm certainly gonna try because this card looks fun as hell.
Yeah, I'm not keen on the art.
No,
the characters look
the
kind of
art could
weird.
be a little more exciting, I think. Yeah. For
it's
as an
definitely
exciting an ability as this is.
Yeah, I agree.
It should have been the same art from Destiny. It should have been Jin and Cassian on the beach. It's like, oh, this is it.
Well, or like in the middle of the fight, maybe instead of Tobias just holding him hostage, basically.
But I made a joke in Discord that this is finally the Jin Urso buff we've been waiting on.
It is.
If Jin's gonna win,
it's gonna be off of the back of this card. Yep,
that's it.
That's how you do it. No, I think this card's sick. I don't know how many people will play this deck, but it goes in a very specific deck, and it's cool.
Have you guys considered the idea of playing this out of aspect for 8? By that point in the game, you often have some pretty big stuff out, and your opponent, likely doesn't have that many things on, not that much health left. So you have something out with like 6 to 8 attack, and maybe sometimes that's just all you need.
Yeah,
Could be cool.
Totally could.
I don't know. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see where this card goes. I'm excited to play this.
I feel like I'm gonna get tilted by this at some point.
100%.
I'm like,
I mean-
oh my gosh, this stupid card.
You can play Vader, put
Yeah.
down Mahdi, attack base, ready Vader, kill Mahdi, ready Vader, play this, ready Vader.
That's
like
amazing. Yeah.
Game's too easy.
I'm going to do it. It's awesome. All right. Yeah, let's move on to the next card. We've got Resourceful Pursuers. It's just a 5-cost yellow ground units, 5/6 bounty hunter with Saboteur. Simple.
Well, there you go. This is how we beat Finn and his shield.
I actually don't think this
craziness.
card's that bad, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah,
think
it's
I think
vanilla, but a 5 cost that has 6 health and 5 attack is
And Saboteur.
pretty strong, and it's got Saboteur. Like, some decks, you just need to get through Sentinels or get through shielded units. Like, this kills Iden and stays alive with 2 health, and like, I don't know, it's a bounty hunter, so if you play Relentless Pursuit, this is a pretty big unit to be able to like guard a captured unit, and it gives it a shield. I don't think this card's that bad for a very just stat stick unit.
Yeah.
Definitely great and
agree.
limited.
There's a card that's better than this that also has Saboteur that we'll get to
Yeah,
later.
as soon as
at the same
as
cost.
that other card came out,
Yeah,
this one
but-
got a little worse.
I guess
but
you-
this can be played in
This
Hero.
can play,
Hero,
yeah, this
there
can
you
be played
go.
in
Yeah.
Hero.
Yeah.
Maybe this has a place.
But
'Cause
that doesn't matter.
I do agree. Like, the stats are pretty good. And the ability
This
is
one
pretty
shots the client.
good. If you're
It
using
does.
this for that, I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, we're gonna see a lot of the client. All right, everybody, prepare yourselves because
You're
you're,
just-
gonna want an
you're
answer
still
to the
salty
client.
after the other
I
day.
am a little salty. All right, a little salt and pepper.
Cool. Anything else we got to say about this card? I wish it was Underworld. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But all right, sure, we'll have a lot to say about this card. This is Dr. Aphra. She is a leader. She is a yellow villain leader. When the regroup phase starts, discard a card from your deck. And then she flips 5 resources as a 2/5 with the fringe trait. And while there are 5 or more different costs among cards in your discard pile, this unit gets +3/+0. And when deployed, choose 3 cards in your discard pile with different names. If you do, return one of them at random to your hand.
So this is a really weird card. Number one, when you flip, you have to have 5 different cards, different costs in your discard pile
Yep.
in order to get the buff. If you're discarding 1 card a turn off of her ability,
Yeah, that's only
you have
4
to
cards.
hit exactly plus have something else die or play a card from hit, like an event that doesn't match one of those cards.
Yep.
It feels like it's a lot harder to get that +3 than what you would just think it is.
Yep. I agree. And you actually have to do 2 because at the end of each regroup phase, at the start of the regroup phase, you discard a card from your deck. So you've done it 4 times total. And then when you deploy her, you bring one of those cards back to your hand. So now you only have 3 cards in your discard pile.
Yeah.
Aside from the cards that you've played and or units that have been defeated that you've played.
Very odd.
Seems real hard to pull off.
It's such a weird combination of abilities where one wants you to have cards in your discard pile, and on the same card, it picks up cards from your discard pile
Yeah.
at random too. So it's like you
Yeah.
could have the right spread, and then you randomly draw the card to your hand that ruins your ability to make her a 5/5.
Yeah.
She's also a yellow villain hero that comes out at 5, and there's another yellow hero leader that comes out at 5 called Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That's gonna-
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think this is good. But I do have a dream. Okay.
Okay.
Can I share
let's
my
hear it.
dream?
Let's hear it. Sure.
Actually, I want to shout out the YouTube user Noob Song commented on one of our previous videos. All they said was "Let D House dream," and I took a screenshot and I have it saved on my phone and I'm using it.
It's now your phone background, and you printed it out at Staples. You're gonna
Yes.
Post it on your refrigerator
I
and
have
your
it pulled up
wall.
on my phone right here. Just so you guys gotta let me dream for a minute. Okay, forceusers.deck. You play Aphra with green and Palpatine's return, and all you're doing is every turn you're just letting Aphra discard a card, and you're putting stuff in the discard, and you play all the villainous force users. So you've got Maul and Vader in green. So you could be playing Maul or Vader on the 6th turn with Palpatine's return, right? And you can ramp. Also, you're in green, so that's the thing. But then you can throw the Palpatines and the Snokes and any other Force users at that cost in there, because Palpatine's return basically nullifies the aspect penalty because it's 2 less on Force users. So you could just throw all the big baddies in your deck, let Aphra throw them on your discard, and then just if you can just survive. If you can survive until that like 6, 7, 8 turn, then like every turn you're just dropping some massive like Force user and you win the game.
You drop a Snoke, follow it up with a Palpatine. Stuff's easier to kill because they have -2 health.
See?
There you go.
Game's too easy.
Yeah, you just won the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna try and kill your dream because we gotta let you dream.
That's right. You do. So.
In fact, I think this leader's excellent. I will be playing this leader. It's fringe. That's super relevant. All of her little sub traits, super relevant.
Yep.
Oh God. To be fair, okay, we don't have all of the cards yet in the set. Maybe there are some cards that really synergize with her. Maybe there are some more cards that play with the stuff in your discard pile. But with the cards spoiled right now, I think this is one of the worst leaders that we've seen in the game. Maybe the worst.
I mean, we've got to get a 000 BT1. Like, it's just...
I
Aphra
agree.
doesn't exist without her...
But we haven't seen those yet.
Death droids.
I will amend my judgment after we see those and if they're good.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for it.
It's a temporary unplayable tier leader in my opinion. But enough
Say
about
no more.
Dr. Aphra, which is unfortunate because she's a really cool character. I really like her. But moving on to unlicensed headhunter. It's a 2-cost space unit. It's red. It's a 3/2 with Saboteur, and while this unit is exhausted, it gains the bounty, heal 5 damage from your base, and it has underworld vehicle and fighter trait.
I'm sorry, Mike. Did you say this has 3 power?
3 power.
3. This has 3 power. It's a 2/3/2 in space.
There's a lot. There's a lot of.
We got 3 of them now. 3 of them.
A lot of those now.
And this has Saboteur, which is
this does, yeah.
not irrelevant when you have system patrol crafts and bright hopes and stuff. I don't see this card being played that much. I mean, it is Underworld, so you can McClunky it. I think it's good though. Now that I've played a few games of Set 2, I don't think that the bounty... Oh wait, no. Yeah, while this unit is exhausted, gains the bounty, is that punishing? Because if they're gonna kill it, they kill it. You just wait till your last action to attack with it. And it's like, if they kill it, you at least get to take the initiative. If they don't, then like you waited till the end so they kind of get the benefit. I don't know. I don't think it's that punishing. Like you can play around it.
You
kind of
can
stuff.
sort of play around it. Yeah. You can also play this in a slower deck where you don't really care about your opponent healing 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're just struggling against aggro, you're in red. You drop this down.
It's a good way to contest the other cheap, powerful ships.
Yep.
Yeah, it is funny that like this is not a stat line that we had seen in the entire first set, and now there's 3 of them in this set, and it'll be interesting to see how that sort of shapes the.
Our A-Wing's a lot worse now. We'll have to wait and find out.
Anything else you guys have to say about this one? Pretty simple card. All right, moving on to Swoop Down. It's a 1-cost yellow event. Attack with a space unit, it gains Saboteur and can attack ground units for this attack. If it attacks a ground unit, it gets +2/+0, and the defender gets -2/-0 for this attack.
I think this card's awesome.
Yeah, this is sweet.
I really like this. You can do the strafing gunship crap without needing to play the crappy strafing gunship.
Yeah.
It's like you just play better space units and then you draw this and you're able to do it. Like I think this card's really good, especially in decks that are kind of on this like control-y, mid-rangey game plan. I think we got some really good statted space units now with like the new Millennium Falcon and Hero Yellow. Yeah, I like this card a lot, and the artwork is sick.
Yeah. And sometimes it feels so bad when you're going first and they lane dodge you and you're not the aggressive, you're not the beat down, and you know, even a little TIE fighter can take out a battlefield marine on the other side, you know. If it's a Sabine, the TIE fighter lives too, so this is a really interesting card. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's easier now, obviously, because there are more total space units to build a deck that is more focused around space. And this gives you a way to interact with your opponent's ground units with your space units without really sacrificing too much. And the fact that you get more attack and they get less attack, like, lets you do some pretty crazy things. I think this card is going to be sweet in Boba Fett because it costs 1 and probably removes something when you play it. So, you know, on your turn 4 or on your 4 resource turn after you've played your like 7th Fleet Defender or whatever, you can swoop down, kill something that has 5 health with the 7th Fleet Defender and survive and ready your resource, and then play something that costs 4, right? So it's like you play your 7th Fleet Defender and then you play your 4-cost 4/4 ambush on that same turn.
Man.
And that's
finally Boba
really
Fett gets some help, man. Gosh.
Right? Yeah, but
I mean, it is his fire spray in the artwork.
they laid it all out for us right there. But yeah, I really like this card. I immediately put this in my my Underworld Ray deck because that deck has a lot of space units and was struggling a lot into like ground focused decks, and I think this like totally changes the way that it plays.
You can also so I've been playing Lando today, obviously, because I will talk about Lando a lot today. You can play the new Falcon on the 4 resource turn, and then on the 5 flip turn, when all these 7 health leaders come out, you can swoop down with your Falcon and kill a 7 health leader.
That's pretty sweet.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And not take that much damage in return too.
Yeah.
For one. That's what feels like with force throws, like when you can pay 1 to potentially do something that swingy, that's real good. This even got me thinking, I wonder if the like go all in on space deck can kind of start to become a thing with like between this and cards like Outmaneuver that didn't see a ton of play in set 1, where you can just reliably go into space and not even worry about, you know, ground.
Just completely ignore ground. I think people are going to try that. I'm for sure going to try that.
Yeah.
But if you're not prepared for a strategy like that, I think you can like absolutely steal some games.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move on and talk about the next one. Man, this card is so cool. Yeah, this is Chewbacca. He is a blue hero ground unit. He costs 8, and he's a 4/10 Underworld Wookiee with grit. And when played, you may defeat a unit with 5 or less remaining HP, and you can smuggle him for 9 and the red and white aspects.
Yep.
Jay,
I like this card.
talk about this card because you've played this card.
We can wait for David. Oh my gosh.
This guy.
This, my man. It goes right into your bombing run. Brown Batman.
It's the brown
Chewbacca.
Batman.
The even browner Batman.
It does.
If anybody's confused right now, I'll try and remember to put like card or whatever up in the top that links to the video that explains what David is currently doing.
This card was made for Brown Batman in every way. It just literally.
Let's hear
right
your
in.
takes on it.
Well, okay,
And
Brown
I'll tell
Batman.
you if you're right or not.
Brown Batman's all about the grit and just having tons of grit units and using bombing run to both, you know, whiteboards and then create end game scenarios where you're just swinging for like a bajillion. And it doesn't win all the time, but when you do win, you feel like Batman. You feel like you used all your bombs and all your cool gadgets to win. So I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Because the only other thing in blue hero at 8 is Redemption, which is great. It's a really good card. But this is a little bit more aggressive. It's like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to nuke something, which is funny that Chewbacca comes in and nukes something bigger than like Dooku coming in and doing a 4 health thing. So
Yep. Which is
powerful.
relevant. It's not irrelevant. Like 5 health is a lot. Like this kills a lot of like good stuff when it comes in.
Yeah.
And you can easily set up that as well by pings or whatever else. So I've been playing this in Lando because if you play red, yellow Lando, you can smuggle this for 7 using his ability.
Spicy.
So it becomes Count Dooku, except better. Which is pretty sick.
That's like Luke. That's like Luke cost at 7 cost for blue hero.
Yeah, he's really tough to take out as well because he has 10 health.
10 health, and he becomes a beast.
Yeah.
After he takes some damage. I mean, he's swinging for big numbers.
He dies to pass the rock, the fell the dragon card.
Only if he's taken damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's not. Yeah.
It's 5 or more.
I was thinking health. Yeah, that's sweet. It is weird that I didn't notice at first that the smuggle was that was red, not blue. Yeah. Which made it even more apparent they made this for my brown Batman deck because it is blue-red hero. So, I mean, they want it to be done, and it shall be done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm literally playing it in a not blue deck with Lando just because.
Just for the smuggle.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
spicy.
Jay and I played, I don't know how many games, like 12 games or something like that earlier today.
Yeah,
at least that's what it felt like. And when he pulled off the, play this on 7 resources with Lando because you get to discount it, it felt incredibly powerful. Because, he'd kill my leader with when played because he had, softened it up a little bit. And then I'm just staring down a 410 grit unit that threatens to just be gigantic. So...
Yeah, at one point he had like 6
so cool.
damage. He had like 6 damage on him, and it was like,
yeah,
it got you into a weird situation where you had to claim so that you can attack and kill this before he swung for 10 damage.
Yeah,
which is cool.
And I don't think I played anything that round.
Yeah, he's Underworld, he's Wookiee, and he's ready to attack.
That Wookiee deck, man, just keeps growing.
Yeah, this is a sick card.
Yeah. I mean, so if you put the value to it, takedown costs 4. He's takedown on a stick.
Yeah.
So you're paying 4 for takedown, plus you're getting a 410 with grit for 4. If you do the math like
or
that.
Or for 3 in that Lando deck.
Yes, which is sweet.
There's just so much value. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this card. It's so cool.
Yep. You pair it with the next card, which probably should have been in my Lando deck, and I wasn't playing it.
Well, let's talk about it. It's called Let the Wookiee Win. It's a 2-cost yellow hero event. It's a trick, of course, and an opponent chooses 1. You ready up to 6 resources, or you ready a friendly unit. If it's a Wookiee unit, attack with it, and it gets +2/+0 for this attack.
Yeah. So this is really interesting. I actually might try this in the Lando deck because I'm also playing tech, and if I have tech out, I could play this for my resources for 4, and it makes you like if Chewbacca is also out. It forces you to either let me ready all my resources, I just tap to play this from my resources, or Chewie gets to ready up and probably kill something or maybe deal a bunch of damage if he's got damage on him. I don't know how good that combo is, but it's really cool.
I agree. It's really cool.
I do have. It's so weird because I remember this card was awful in Destiny.
Yeah,
and so I literally saw the name. I was like, oh, how bad is it?
It must be bad.
And they nailed it because I do think any card that lets your opponent choose an option is suspect, I guess, because you'd never want to give your opponent the choice. But this does feel pretty bad. Like if my opponent is playing this, I both of these feel like bad options for the most part. Even if you don't have a Wookiee and I'm letting you ready something for 2, just anything,
sure,
it could be really, really strong. So.
I think you have to have played some stuff before you play this in your turn. Otherwise, you're just spending a card for no reason. But depending on the board state, this could be good. I think like the spots where it's bad is like you don't have any units on board. You can't play this because your opponent just chooses the second option. Or you have 1 unit that's super weak. Like doesn't matter that your opponent's readying it. I mean, then you're probably just not playing this card. But I think that it's probably pretty narrow. Like the scenarios where it does work, but when it does work, it's going to feel sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's particularly good when you have smuggle stuff, I think, too, because you're paying a lot of resources to get stuff, and then like you might put stuff back in your resources from what you smuggled. So readying it all and being able to play that card from your resources is like pretty relevant because then it's not just giving you resources, but it's also giving you the card advantage because you're smuggling instead of just playing from hand. Yeah, I think this card's cool. I do play the Wookiee, the 2-cost 3/3 Wookiee in that deck too, so I at least have 2 Wookiees that could trigger off of this, which is fun.
You do? It's true.
I mean, then it's just the 2-cost deal 3 if you ready the other guy instead of
deal
Chewie.
5, right?
Or you would attack with and do 5.
Oh yeah, 5.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And kill some people that
Wookiees.
way. Awesome. All right. Well, let's move on to the next card. This is Heroic Resolve. It's a 1-cost red hero upgrade. Attached unit gains action, pay 2 resources, defeat a Heroic Resolve on this unit, attack with this unit. It gets +4/+0 and gains Overwhelm for this attack. And while it's on the unit, it gives it +1/+1.
You know what red hero aggro needed was more support, more reach, and they got it. I think this card is awesome. I think this card is fantastic. It honestly, in my opinion, it just replaces Heroic Sacrifice in pretty much any of the Sabine decks that I'm playing. Like, I'd rather put this. I mean, it's not 1-for-1, but it's a 1-cost that can do more than Heroic Sacrifice can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you can play it in quotes across multiple turns and sort of decide when you want to pop it to attack with the unit with +4 and Overwhelm. I also think +4 and Overwhelm is like huge. You can get over some really big Sentinels, or obviously you could just push for extra damage to base. Like
Chilton.
Yeah, Chilton's the main one. I was thinking, man, all your units just nuke him now.
Yeah,
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then if you're playing Blue Sabine, like I like to play, you play the Razor Crest, just get it back after you paid 2 to defeat it.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
And you just throw it on something else.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is just like, it's a lot of damage. Like, if you look at it, I guess it's kind of hard to look at it as 3 resources for 4 damage because, like that your unit can be interacted with in between when you play this and when you use the action. But you can also, not walk into a scenario where your opponent has resources and ways to deal with the unit that you're going to play this on.
Yeah.
So your opponent often doesn't have the ability to deal with all of your units every turn. And I feel like it's not unreasonable to be able to drop this on a unit later in a turn and attack with it for a bunch. So I think it's just like, it almost feels like For a Cause numbered like 4 through 6.
Yeah.
The fact that it doesn't also kill the thing like Heroic Sacrifice does feels really nice because you can just play this on Sabine and following turn pay 2, or the same turn just pay 2 and swing for 9.
Yeah, imagine like your turn 3 is like you Wing Leader and Heroic Resolve on Sabine.
Yeah.
And you swing for 6, and then the next turn you swing for 9.
9, yeah.
Like that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And it's hard to take a Sabine out after she's been Wing Leadered.
I was even thinking about this in Cheer It, because you can play this and you don't have to worry about like being like
dying.
Surprise die, and then so like the turn it's like, oh, this is the turn Cheer It might die. It's like pop. Here we go.
It is significant that it defeats itself. So sometimes you'll have to make sure, like if he has 5 damage on him and he's like at 6, and then it could be any
not
unit.
Cheer It, but another
it could be any unit. Yeah. It like they die before they get to do
if your opponent puts you to like 1 health left, you can't pop this because then they die before the attack goes off. Which is interesting.
Not sure.
Also, the art is sick.
Yep. Also,
the art is Finn, and this does not synergize whatsoever with Finn.
No, dude, you totally destroy this to give him a shield.
It feels like Finn should have been just when a upgrade is defeated on a unit, gain a shield, but then shields would be infinite, and then that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
They could do like if like when a non-shield upgrade is defeated, it gets a shield. I don't know.
A non-token upgrade.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean that I don't think that would have been broken, but whatever. All right, that was Heroic Resolve. Next card is Detention Block Rescue. It's a 3-cost red event. Deal 3 damage to a unit. If that unit is guarding any captured cards, deal 6 damage instead.
I think this will be amazing in limited, like draft and sealed, because there's just going to be captured. And so, if you don't have access to open fire, I think this is great. Unless, capture really explodes. I don't see capture exploding on the scene and like dominating the meta, but I could be wrong. I just feel like most of the time I'm taking open fire over this.
Okay, here's my issue with this card right now is we don't have that many cards that capture. And one of the cards that does capture gives the unit a shield.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It does nothing against that card, basically.
yeah, I don't know if I like this very much. Like in this niche situations, that it's good. It'll be good. Like 3 for 6 is solid. But yeah, I don't know if I like this very much.
Yeah,
I'd rather just play open fire, and it's just always 4.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think, like David said, I think like in draft, this is probably gonna be pretty good. And then outside of that, I don't know. If the metagame is all capture, maybe you play this. If it's not, you probably don't. All right,
That's where I'm at.
Sure.
next card. We've got the dynamic duo here. We'll talk about them both because you can't really talk about one without the other.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm gonna put them on the same slide actually. So we've got 4 LOM and Zuckuss. So 4 LOM is a 4-cost. Obviously, it's in his name. 4-cost yellow villain ground unit, a 4/4 underworld droid bounty hunter with ambush, and each friendly unit named Zuckuss gains +1/+1 and gains ambush. And then Zuckuss is a 5-cost yellow villain ground unit, and he's a 6/6 underworld bounty hunter with saboteur, and each friendly unit named 4 LOM gets +1/+1 and gains saboteur.
Then they're both underworld and bounty hunters,
Yes.
which is pretty
Both
sick.
relevant.
So Zuckuss is the 5-cost 6/6 you were alluding to earlier. That's also
right.
a bounty hunter. That also has saboteur. That also could possibly be a 7/7 and buffs ambush
right.
unit. That's going to be coming in at 4/4 and just is way better for Relentless Pursuit than that other card.
Yeah, pretty much.
These guys are insane. These guys are so good. Poe's good because he's a 5-cost 6/6. Zuckuss is like, yep, I'm that too, but
I got you.
But
do some
sometimes I'm
other
also
stuff.
7/7.
Yeah.
which is just
With
imagine
ambush and
ambushing on the 5 flip turn. All of these 7 health leaders are gonna have to kill Forlom because if they don't, then Zuckuss comes in and just kills them.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 4LM's going to have a major target the second he hits. I'm imagining there's going to be situations where you don't ambush with 4LOM.
Yeah, you
because
just want to play it and try and keep him around
just
for the
stick
Zuckuss.
here,
Yeah.
And even just the threat, like you could not even have Zuckuss in your hand, and you're like sitting like, I'm not going to ambush, and they'd be like, oh gosh, I have to get rid of, even though you're not dropping Zuckuss right away. Absolutely nuts. It's just so good. It's so good. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Bosk is a 5-cost 4/5 with ambush. This comes in at 4/4. This is totally reasonable, especially against aggro, to just take something out real quick.
I also think it's totally reasonable to play Zuckuss first and then ambush 4LOM in as a 5/5.
Yep.
Yeah, with Saboteur that can kill
Yeah.
shielded units.
Yep.
Shield it or get through Sentinels
Yeah.
to hit whatever you need to hit. Like,
You know what?
These guys are
Yellow
crazy.
villain mid-range really needed was these cards.
Yeah.
They were struggling,
Yeah, really
and they're
struggling.
gonna. This will help them a little bit. This right here alone feels like the yellow villain mid-range decks are just going to destroy.
yeah, it's going to pop
aggro.
off.
They are going to destroy aggro decks. Like eat them for breakfast, in my opinion, with these cards. Like
Yeah. I can't
brutal.
wait to...
And then
to
Cad Bane.
Yeah, I
just
can't wait to
pings
slap them
too.
right
Oh,
in my
yeah.
Cad Bane deck. Yeah, he's so good with ambush units in general, and like these are beefy ambush units that a 4-cost 4/4 ambush is already good, and now you get to ping something before you do that. So if your opponent has like one thing on the board that has 5 health, this kills it. Like they play Boba, right? Like you get to now kill Boba with your 4LOM, and he doesn't die.
And survive.
Yeah, exactly. And the next turn, you ambush in your Zuckuss as a 7/7. So there's, yeah, I love these cards. These are so good. They're uncommon. I can't believe they're uncommon.
And then Zuckuss, like the following turn, or even like some point in the game, you could do new adventure and you put him back down as a 7/7 ambush.
Yeah, that's gross.
Like gets his health back and ambushes again. Like
that's gross. I
cards.
love these cards.
it.
They're so good.
Yeah. And I love it too because these are kind of like staple bounty hunter, like known bounty hunters. They got the Empire Strikes Back moment. So I like to
the
see
only
that.
one we don't have so far is IG-88 right now, because we have.
Oh, it's a unit, yeah.
We have
Because we
Dengar.
have IG-11.
We got Dengar. We got these guys. We got Bosk. We got Boba.
yeah, but he
No
got to be a
IG-88?
leader. He has a showcase.
Who?
IG-88, right?
Oh, true. Yeah, he's a leader. Yeah. I just, I've erased him from my memory because he's so irrelevant.
Well, because you drew 2 showcases
Yeah.
of him.
My only 2 showcases. Cool. Well,
Also,
was...
we got to note that their art is kind of awesome. That they
Yeah, art looks great.
Yeah.
Plan this way.
Looks great.
Yeah, that they can just be messing people up.
Are they meant to be in like the same location? Because the lighting is different.
It's the same artist. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same location or not. It's similar location.
That'd be cool if like in the hyperspace versions you could like put them together and they'd make one picture, but still looks sick. Cool. Well,
is that all the cards?
It's all the cards.
Oh, nice.
So
cool.
Hope everybody enjoyed watching. Let us know in the comments what your favorite card was from this video. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.